What's up, guys? This is Webby back again for your Go Home Show 2 Crown Jewel. Monday Night Raw just got over, wrestling fans. The Go Home Show 2 Crown Jewel just got over, and wrestling fans, let me tell you, the biggest thing that I am wondering is, does WWE realize that the Go Home Show just got over? Does WWE realize that it was the Go Home Show? I'm not sure they do. Now, I'm not saying that everything on this show is bad. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that everything on this show was a complete flop. I'm not saying that the advertisement for SmackDown was wrong. But let me tell you, wrestling fans, this coming Thursday, we are seeing Seth freaking Rollins. By the way, wrestling fans, before I continue, you all do me a favor. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you can get notifications whenever YouTube decides to throw you a notification, because that helps it out. And make sure you leave me a like and a comment down below. That shoves out the video for me. Do that. It is appreciated. Now, wrestling fans, this coming Thursday, we will be seeing Seth freaking Rollins taking on the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Does WWE remember that? I know they were advertising it tonight, but they also advertised this Friday on Fox, on SmackDown, that Bray Wyatt is going to be special guest on Miz TV. Yeah. I don't know about you, wrestling fans, but WWE Wrestling 101 says we have Seth Rollins guaranteed winning at Crown Jewel. Why do they have to give away the victory on Monday when the pay-per-view is on Thursday? Why do they have to give it away already? I don't care if Fox wanted to advertise that. I don't care. I don't care if that's best for business. You mean to tell me there wasn't anything else that you could have advertised? That couldn't have been a surprise? Who knows? Maybe, and I would be okay with this, the Fiend walks out victorious Thursday. And that's his last appearance on SmackDown. And he goes over to Monday Night Raw the following Monday. Maybe that's what happens. I don't know. Maybe I'm flipping out for no reason. But I do know, wrestling fans, WWE, Vince McMahon, Kevin Dunn, Mr. Beaver himself, Wrestling 101, says that Seth Rollins is winning Thursday for that simple reason. And it's making me cringe that they advertised it like that tonight. They had Vince written all over it, wrestling fans, and not Paul Heyman. I am not giving Paul Heyman that credit. As far as the rest of the show goes, wrestling fans, as far as the rest of the show goes, not that bad. We had Humberto Carrillo taking on AJ Styles in a matchup that I found to be much better than last week when he took on Seth Rollins. Last week, we saw Seth Rollins versus Humberto Carrillo, and the type of matchup where we saw him showing heart. We saw him putting up a huge effort. How much heart did Humberto Carrillo have in that contest? Have in the WWE? That's what we saw last week, wrestling fans. This week, wrestling fans, it was back and forth action almost throughout that entire matchup. Okay? Until we saw, the very ending. And so, until we saw Humberto Carrillo tap out. And of course, we saw, him get saved, in which it's going to set up a 6-man tag team matchup for next week. It's as simple as that. We're going to see a 6-man tag team match next week. But wrestling fans, tonight, with how we are seeing this all being set up with this 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal, and tomorrow you're going to get my full preview and predictions of Crown Jewel. Okay? But how we're seeing this set up, it wouldn't surprise me a bit if Humberto Carrillo walks out victorious of that 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. But we'll dive into that later on. Now, let's move on to Eric Rowan versus Burn It Down Seth Rollins. I had no problem with Seth Rollins versus Eric Rowan. It made sense. Eric Rowan and Bray Wyatt have a history, the Wyatt family, so that made sense. Now, should they have given away a Falls Count Anywhere matchup just a couple of days away from Crown Jewel, or for that matter, any pay-per-view that WWE has? Whether it would have been at Extreme Rules, whether it would have been at the Survivor Series, SummerSlam, WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, whatever. Should they have given away a Falls Count Anywhere if that matchup would have been on that pay-per-view? Now, the reason why they did was to get you hyped up and hopefully to gain more subscribers. I, for one, wouldn't have. I would have just had probably just a knockdown, drag out affair between these two. It was a great contest between these two. I mean, I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I'm probably going to enjoy Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins. I hope. I am knocking on wood. I'm crossing my fingers that I enjoyed Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins more than I enjoyed Eric Rowan and Seth Rollins. And I am hoping that Bray Wyatt walks out Universal Champion. I'm hoping this one time They throw the rule book out the window. Throw the rule book out the window. I am a Seth Rollins fan. I've been a Seth Rollins fan. I praised and I backed him up for him to get the Universal title ever since WrestleMania 35. But he is stale as stale can be with that championship. And it is time for him to lose it. And Bray Wyatt get it. Throw the rule book out the window. As far as whoever's on Raw, stay on Raw. And whoever's on SmackDown, stay on SmackDown this one time. Take Bray Wyatt and move him to Raw. Make some type of trade. It's all I'm asking. I think we are seeing the formation of the new women's tag team champions eventually in the form of Natalya and Charlotte Flair. I think we're seeing that. There's no doubt in my mind. They beat the Iconics tonight. Eventually, they will beat the Kabuki Warriors. There's no doubt in my mind that's where WWE is headed. There's no doubt in my mind. Them beating the Kabuki Warriors is just around the corner, I believe. Tonight, them beating the Iconics was just a warm-up match. Ric Flair and the Immortal Hulk Hogan. I said it on Twitter, and I'll say it again. With Jimmy Hart in Hulk Hogan's corner, it adds an extra layer to Hulk Hogan as far as his presentation when he comes out. To me, it reminds me of the 1993 Hulk Hogan, number one, and I enjoy that. And it also brings a new layer to WWE right now, and honestly, it's something that the WWE needs in my eyes, and that's manager. And if you look at what Jimmy Hart still does out there, he cheers on who's ever out there for Team Hogan. Whether it was Roman Reigns or whoever was on that 6-man tag team this past Friday, or Ricochet tonight. I enjoyed seeing Jimmy Hart do that. I enjoyed the matchup between Ricochet and Drew McIntyre until Randy Orton hit the RKO on Ricochet, which only made sense. Randy Orton doing that. We haven't seen Randy Orton really get involved throughout this build on the way to Crown Jewel. He had to get involved somehow. So, who knows what's going to happen at Crown Jewel. I honestly would rather see Team Flair win. We have not seen Ric Flair ever defeat the Immortal Hulk Hogan. Will that happen? More than likely not, because Hulk Hogan is a Vince McMahon creation and the Nature Boy Ric Flair is not. To be honest. To be blunt with you, that is the biggest reason why. We have to wait and see what happens. And because Team Flair got the upper hand tonight. And whoever gets the upper hand on the go-home show loses at the pay-per-view. So there we go. It was a good matchup. It was a good go-home show build for the pay-per-view. But Team Hogan going to be victorious. Get full preview and predictions tomorrow, wrestling fans, of the entire pay-per-view. And And, of course, you know, we have some minor stuff that really just does not matter. The Kabuki Warriors turn heel. So what? They had to write Paige off. It's the only way that they could do that. But other than that, really, Monday Night Raw was just a pretty good show for what they put on. You know, I'm not really going to get into the divorce court. The divorce court was big. The divorce court was it's Lana said that the reason why is because I'm not even saying the reason why. This is the biggest waste of time for WWE television. It only made sense for Bobby Lashley and Lana to get the upper hand going off the air. But this is a waste of time. In the end, Rusev is going to get the upper hand and get the victory over Bobby Lashley, I'm sure. But right now, he's just going to get beat up. But I'm getting out of here. I'll see you tomorrow for my preview and predictions of Crown Jewel. Until then, this is Webby. Subscribe, like, comment down below. Hit that bell for all notifications. And I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.